The presentation of Gloria Alive is going on through June the 18th. And a little bit more about that. It's an opportunity for the audience to learn from each other. That's in Act 2. And Gloria Alive embodies Gloria Steinem's philosophy that conversation is a catalyst for change as it celebrates one of the most inspiring women of our time. And the production, this is a disclaimer a little bit, folks, includes strong language, mature themes, and discussions of sexual harassment and domestic violence.
Ouch. I hate those things.
Speaking of Gloria Steinem,
Yeah.
I thought we'd talk a little bit about her. Some people remember her by a few things. It's kind of like anybody else.
Remind me. I was sitting there racking my brain. I know the name. I'm sure I know the work.
Big women's activist in 60s and 70s. Ms. Magazine.
Okay.
Did a stint as a Playboy bunny, as kind of undercover story for a newspaper. I'll talk about that here in a minute.
Okay.
But she grew up in Ohio. She is
Potato country. Isn't that? Is Ohio or Idaho? No,
Idaho.
Idaho. It's got to know what it. Those months with those states with those.
Idaho potatoes.
They get me confused.
She is 80. I'm doing my math here now.
She's still around with us.
89.
Okay.
88 or 89.
Okay.
Oh, she's 89. I just saw her March 25th birthday there. But grew up in Toledo.
Toledo.
Yeah, Holy Toledo. It's the second child. Father was a traveling salesman. Parents divorced when she was 10. Her mother was mentally ill. She had to take care of her mom. She graduated high school and went to Smith College in Massachusetts and studied government, of all things.
Wow.
Graduated magna cum laude and got a fellowship to study abroad for 2 years and did that studying and researching in India. And that's where she got this inspiration and interest in grassroots activism. She worked in the women's liberation movement and for the Equal Rights Amendment. She started her professional career as a journalist in New York, did freelance pieces for various publications. And then it was tough in the late 50s and 60s. She admits to getting what would be called plum assignments when men ran the newsrooms and women were mainly secretarial kinds of behind the scenes kind of people. She wanted to do a quote unquote women's page, like a lifestyle, and do some female centered or fashion topics. And
what years were those?
Late 50s and 60s.
Wow, she was ahead of her time then.
Yeah, and when she suggested political stories to the New York Times Sunday magazine, the editor said, I don't think of you that way. So she gained national attention in 1963 when Show magazine hired her to do an undercover report on the working conditions at the Playboy Club. She wrote an expose. I was a Playboy bunny, and went into everything related to that. She struggled to be taken seriously as a journalist after that assignment. And she helped found New York Magazine, where she became the editor and political writer.
Wow. And
still is on that board. She also first publicly spoke in 1969 about legalizing abortion in New York State. She promoted some feminism and engagements within the women's movement in the 1970s. There was a feminist activist took over the Ladies' Home Journal, and they staged a takeover, arguing that the magazine only offered articles on housekeeping but failed to cover women's rights and the women's movement. So she then founded Ms. Magazine to kind of become that, I guess, venue. And it debuted in 1971. This is the one she's still in an emeritus capacity for, not New York Magazine. And it debuted as an insert in New York Magazine. So she's always kind of been dedicated to the cause of women's rights. And she was with someone who helped form the National Women's Political Caucus. At 2000, at the age of 66, she had been long single. She married her husband, entrepreneur and activist David Bale, who died of lymphoma a few years later.
Oh my.
But she's been a writer. She's authored several books, including a biography on Marilyn Monroe, a bestseller, My Life on the Road. She's published and reprinted in numerous anthologies. She was presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2013.
Wow.
And in 2017, Rutgers University created the Gloria Steinem Endowed Chair in Media, Culture, and Feminist Studies.
Holy smoke. I had no idea.
And she is a member of the Women's Hall of Fame.
I bet. I bet she's probably.
Which is where I got that information.
Okay. I wonder if she knew Marilyn Monroe. I guess you can write a biology without knowing the person.
She would have overlapped in time.
Yeah, they would have been.
They would have been actually
pretty close to the same age.
Right,
I think.
Right, I agree with that.
Pretty.
So
right
maybe
there.
they did cross some paths, or she found out what was going on with Marilyn was like
So,
antithesis of where Gloria Steinem wanted to be, or where she thought Marilyn wanted to be. Or
right.
Who knows?
I bet both. Yeah, both of them were very advancing women. I think.
Right.
But wow. Interesting write-up about her.
Yes.
Honestly, I knew nothing about her like that.
No, I had remembered Ms. Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty much kind of it.
Right. Boy.
But the fact that this play really goes into, and I think what's interesting about the play is not having seen it, but just reading about it, is this Act 2 where, the actors begin this discussion and these guest responders, and there's a different guest responder each time the play is presented. So if you want to go to the website, that's jccstl.com, and there's enough information there where you can check on the New Jewish Theater, and it will show you exactly who these people are who are coming in. Some of them are individual who've been politicians, who are past and current politicians, other notable women individuals in the area. And so the conversation, as Lizzie was talking about, is kind of springboarded by that, and then involves different members of the audience. So it can take a different flavor as the moderator or as the guest responder launches that kind of talking circle. And it really is a learning experience. And it's quoted here, it's the way we discover we're not crazy and we're not alone. So, sometimes I think people like, am I the only one that thinks this way, or am I just crazy?
Well, yeah.
So
crazy, and you kind of
the talking circle
goes together with
the talking circle is to kind of reaffirm that I'm not crazy.
Oh, that you're not. Okay.
And that, there's other people that think the same way I do.
I don't think there is. No, I'm just kidding. I am kidding. Honestly, you're probably right though.
So
you are.
I would say, don't throw a pomander at me.
Is that our word for the day?
Yes.
Is it a pomander? So we've moved on to. We need to like a little thing,
or excuse me, it could be a pomander.
Like we should have it like a. It's time for the
word of the day.
Well, we need something better than that, though. I don't.
So we'll get that trumpet in tune.
That's
my gosh.
Well, that kind of fits the word for the day.
A little bit there. You're too flat.
Okay, let's go again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the word of the day. Okay,
there we go.
All right.
So it could be pomander or pomander. Okay, I think the correct pronunciation would be pomander.
I'm going to go with pomander, and I haven't.
All right.
I'm not reading it.
So I talked about throwing something because.
Why do you look at me when you say that?
Well, it's because I'm looking at the definition of what this is, and I'll give you another sentence in which it would be used.
Good. Let me see. I want to.
I opened the closet, and the smell of the pomander overwhelmed me.
Sounds like a dead critter.
It's a mixture of aromatic substances balled together and carried about a case. It's like a perforated ball, a clove-studded orange, My mom used to do that. She'd stick cloves in oranges and then stick it in the closet.
Really?
That's why I use that example. Have you ever smelled those things?
No.
Oh my gosh! It's like you open the closet.
So it wasn't good.
Well, it's supposed to keep things fresh.
Okay.
Cloves.
Okay.
But I could throw that at you. Because it was in an orange. But
Whoa.
it's something. It's an aromatic substance that's put in and to safeguard against like infection or staleness or something like that.
Did you ever talk with your mom about that in later years?
No, I just I realized I would never do that in my life.
To my children.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Or it could be a clove-studded lemon or a clove-studded apple.
Wow.
I thought, wow, we wasted that really good orange right there.
I know, but wouldn't it rot sitting in there with all my clothes?
The cloves helped it out. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't mean to.
It's beyond me.
Your mom had good reason for it.
She did.
I'm sure she did.
She did.
A
pomander.
A pomander.
Pomander.
Pomander. Sounds like a salamander. A pomander.
Yeah, it's just this, so if you see like a cachet would be a pomander.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
I'm getting into another word.
Here he is. Look, folks, he's academic. He's throwing.
Ladies would have a cachet of things in their undergarment drawer.
Right.
To keep them smelling fresh.
A pomander in there.
That's right. They could put a pomander in there.
I know. Throw a pomander in there.
Just don't use cloves in an orange.
Wow, no. Let me see. Hold on. No, don't do that. That is our word for the day.
Man, I got to get rid of that trumpet. Really bothers me.
I know. You don't like that one? Okay.
It's so out of tune.
I'm going to call you tonight at like 1 a.m.
Go,
and I know you'll say, hello. I'm going to throw it at you.
That is so
I know
awful.
It is terrible. There's a lot of terrible things, but
Sheesh.
there's some good things in the world. That might be one of them. Did you know it's National Best Friend Day?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do you have a best friend?
I do.
Who, me?
My wife.
Oh, okay. That's good. Good answer. Hold on.
It would be Papa in tune.
Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. It's definitely the wrong one. Because when you stop and think about best friends, how many people really have a best friend? They have a lot of acquaintances. They have friends. Right. But a true best friend, do you really have one?
When you think about friendship, you think about really, like you said, you have acquaintances, people by name, acquaintances, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
But I think you're very fortunate if you have a best friend.
Right.
And I think my wife is definitely my best friend. I agree with you like that. Yep.
So I just replaced the litter box with a FedEx box. Now when it's full, I just tape it shut and put it on the porch for someone to steal. Your fingers have fingertips, but your toes don't have toe tips. Yet you can tiptoe, but not tip finger.
Oh my. Wow.
Two boys were sitting on the back of a pickup truck, and one says, "Does your family say a prayer before you eat food?" The other one says, "Nope, we're Italian. My mom knows how to cook."
I love it. Thank you very much. Wow, that's actually really good.
Folks, if we have a new puppy, and he's 10 months old.
Oh boy.
But if you've ever experienced this, and people who have had puppies, you will know what I'm going to say. They should make an alarm clock that sounds like a dog about to puke. Nothing gets you out of bed faster.
Sound of a cat puking.
That too.
It doesn't work.
And a big hairball.
Yep.
Our Wi-Fi wasn't working last night, so I sat and chatted to the missus for a change. I'm surprised to hear she no longer works at Woolworths.
Wow. Are there any Woolworths around anymore?
No.
Okay.
That's
just check it. Okay, that's part of the joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wife said, "Our new neighbors are so in love. He kisses her, strokes her hair, and hugs her. Why don't you do that?" Well, because I don't know her that well yet. Twilight Zone. Hey, maybe some of you can identify with this. You go to the store and you buy something and it's like, well, I did get around to eating that. I almost left the grocery store without buying a bag of spring mix to throw unopened into the garbage in 2 weeks. Wow. Now, this it's true. This is a fact. This is not a joke. This is a fact. Okay. The periodic table symbol for lead is PB, which comes from Latin plumbum, meaning lead. Early pipes were made of lead, so people who worked with pipes became plumbers. Plumbum, plumbers.
I like that. That's
Okay.
all right. That's something. You learn something new on this show all
Right.
the time.
And you learn this too, that people are excited about the new iPhone, but no one has caught up with the awesome technology of using your blinker when you drive.
That is so just that lever on the left.
The original text message. My wife has been missing a week now.
Oh, no.
The police said to prepare for the worst, so I had to go down to Goodwill to get all her clothes back.
Wow. Hold it. There's a policeman at the door for you right now. Okay. I wish he'd take.
When I die, I know one of my grandkids will lean in my coffin and whisper, "Can I play a game on your phone?"
Oh, golly. Whoa.
So I go to KFC the other day to get the kids something to eat. They wanted the kids' meal with a leg. So I said, "Kids' meal with a leg." And the lady says, "Which side?" Complete silence as I was contemplating this odd decision. I guess the right side. I don't know what the difference is. After several moments of laughter, she said, "No, hon, which side would you like to go with the leg, mashed potatoes or wedges?"
Wow. That's terrible.
So there's
So
these
bad.
eggs that are sitting around this plate of this fried egg.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It says, he died last Friday. Thank God he wasn't beaten. Don't worry, he went over easy. He's now on the sunny side. He's definitely in a better plate.
Oh, my. What? Wait. Yeah, I agree. I agree with this crowd.
Now, some of the listeners probably come from the "if you'll quit crying, I'll buy you something" generation. But Mark and I, we came from the "if you don't quit crying, I'll give you something to cry about" generation.
That's right. That's it. Or we're going to turn this car around and go home. Golly, that's so true.
My mom said, "You won't need braces. I'll straighten them for you."
Yeah, thank you, Mom.
So I had a friend ask me the other day, "I thought you were dieting." And I said, "Well, I am." And they said, "Well, you just had 3 donuts." I said, "But I wanted 4. See, I'm dieting."
Oh.
This is this is not a joke. This
There's
is serious.
nothing serious about you.
Everyone enjoys the beginning and the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's where everyone cheers you on. But the middle is where the winning happens. It's where you have to cheer yourself on. Master the middle, and start and finish will take care of themselves.
That's good. I like that. Take a bow. Take a bow. Good. I'm glad you're bowing.
Sometimes I like to, this is a woman's advice here. Sometimes I like to mess with my husband and hide his stuff where he can't find it. Like I put his shoes in the shoe closet, his jacket on the hanger, and his keys on the key hook.
And that hit him from him. Yep. Okay.
Now, these are some interesting kind of things you might get from people who have been around a while. They've lived in the country maybe, and I don't want to say wives' tales kind of things, but
Okay.
All right. Take your bananas apart when you get home from the store. If you leave them connected at the stem, they ripen faster. Now, you had mentioned aluminum foil.
Uh-huh. Tinfoil.
Tinfoil.
Aluminum.
No hats, though.
Okay.
Store your open chunks of cheese in aluminum foil. It will stay fresh much longer and not mold.
Who knew? I never knew that.
Oh, here's a good one.
More.
Because when I will smell strawberries and tomatoes, and somebody said, "Well, what are you smelling for?" And it's like, "Well, do they smell like strawberries or tomatoes? If they don't, I don't buy them."
Right.
Right. Peppers with 3 bumps on the bottom
Mm-hmm.
are sweeter and better for eating. Peppers with 4 bumps on the bottom are firmer and better for cooking.
Ooh, now that's a
really
you
good
could
one.
write a cookbook on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Add a teaspoon of water when frying ground beef. It will help pull the grease away from the meat while cooking. I remember that one.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
And we've had a joke about eggs, but this is really about eggs.
This is
Serious.
something for real.
To really make scrambled eggs or omelets, rich.
Rich.
Add a couple of spoonfuls of sour cream, cream cheese, or heavy cream in, and then beat them up. Well, that makes sense. But I like curdy scrambled eggs. And you know how to make curdy scrambled eggs?
No.
Is you really low heat. Really low heat.
Never.
And you put that on, and you have a spatula, and you're constantly moving them. And they'll curd up kind of like cottage cheese a little bit. I really like curdy scrambled eggs.
There it is again. I know it.
Yeah. And then there was the Magnus Chord Organ Big Book of Easy Funeral Hits. Simple one-finger grief chord chart. And it has such hits as Grandma Had Secrets. Who Gets What? I Just Knew I'd See You There. You call that a Y incision? This changes nothing. Or the song, Nice Tears, Baby. How about this one? Did he always have that there?
It's so bad.
Or Shut Up and Mourn. or the last one, Well, That's Over.
Oh my goodness for that. Wow, that's really bad stuff. Stop laughing, you guys. So they won't quit.
Oh, I'm crying.
Okay, wait. No,
I'm crying.
I can't find it. All right.
Oh, mercy.
Hands on those buzzers, please. Please don't pop those buttons.
I really know what I'm taking home, Art Fleming.
I know.
No, sorry.
Sorry.
No, that's not it.
What am I
You will
taking?
receive some parting gifts from us. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, we got
There we
parting
go.
gifts for you.
Mercy, gotta
All right.
take my
So you will
glasses
receive
off.
some parting gifts from us. Thank
That's
you
right.
so very much.
I feel sorry.
Well, folks, we're going to stop with that right now and hope you haven't had an accident listening to this
Is that enough?
driving your car. Oh,
Man, tough room.
Thanks for listening, folks. Don't forget, when the Martians invade, there's only one race, the human race, and every one of us have different characteristics and is uniquely valuable.
Yep.
St. Louis in Tune is a production of Motif Media Group and the U.S. Radio Network. For St. Louis in Tune co-host Mark Langston, I'm Arnold Stricker. Remember to walk worthy and let your light shine. On this show of St. Louis in Tune, we're going to return to civility, talk to Lizzie Want, actor and director, about her performance.